And he the type of person, like, I could do it now. If a person somebody rap, I can remember it. If you say it once, I can remember it. He could do that back then. So you say all your raps and stuff to him, you hear that shit in songs. You hear your raps in the songs. Hear your ideas in the songs. You know what I'm saying? So before you even get the chance to lay it and do something with it, he already put it out. And he'll look at you like he know he took it from you. And your friends that heard your raps, your friends know all your raps. Your friends that be with you. Like, though, that shit, like, yeah, it don't give you nothing, don't say nothing, no. I mean, don't give you no acknowledgement, no nothing. I mean, he could even say, like, we go 10 bands, we go 100 bands, anything. Don't give nothing. Just take your shit, you know what I'm saying? But my thing is, I don't like the fact the way he did the shit and act like he don't know who the fuck State Property is. That's the part that I don't like. Because if Nas would have destroyed you, you won't be who you is right now. You'll be done. You'll be fucking done. So the fact that you got us to take you back when you was at the time we needed this the most, you went call Memphis Bleek. You know he was corny. You know he was corn. That nigga said Memphis Bleek is corn. I'm not calling him to come at Nas. He's corn, right?
Thanks for tuning in to the Urban School podcast. And as you can hear from the audio clip, Oschino, who is a rapper, well, a former rapper, I don't know if he's current, but he used to rap a part of Rockefeller under State Property, which was a group that was managed or under the umbrella of Jay-Z and Dame Dash's Rockefeller. He's pretty much shedding light on Jay-Z and his business practices as far as it goes to the music side of things, especially music creation. So, and the lack of credibility or credit he's given to artists that he draws inspiration from, or that he draws some kind of, motivation from, so to speak. So this is really the opposite of the Kanye West thing, because I remember Saha the Prince saying that Kanye would give credit to anybody in the room. A delivery guy can walk in with a plaid shirt and he'll make a rap with a plaid, talking about plaid, and he will give that delivery guy credit. Or a guy come in delivering waters and he'll have a shirt on or earring or something that Kanye will make a rap about or draw inspiration from, and he would give that guy credit. So it's opposite of the Kanye thing, but Kanye always talked about, or he talked about in the past, especially on the song Big Brother and other songs, is, and Jay-Z kind of shuns, people that's beneath him. So he'll say, like Waleem told him to get 2 tickets, things like that. So he thought he was going to the show, he was rapping, and then Kanye, Jay made him buy 2 tickets to the show. He couldn't even get in the show free. So a lot of these things he saw as people shunning people. And what Oschino was talking about is songs that he wrote or other people wrote that he felt that Jay-Z took the inspiration from and didn't give him credit. And then, of course, he's the bigger artist. Nobody's going to raise a stink about it, or they don't have the money to fight him in court over. So it's an unfortunate thing if it was the truth. But Oschino was saying that Jay-Z stole Girls from him. And All I Need was another song he stole from a Philly group. And he actually played the song, and it didn't sound like Jay-Z's song, but it had the same concept. But these things are very interesting because these are some of Jay-Z's best songs, especially Girls is one of his better works in his earlier career off the Blueprint album. One of the songs that kind of inspired a lot of artists today to do songs like that as well. There's been many different renditions of it in some kind of way, whether they sound like it or not, other tempos, other, concepts, but they're in that same realm. But this ghostwriting topic or stealing lyrics and things like that has become very popular over the last decade in hip hop. And it's only in hip hop because hip hop has the expectation that you're writing from your own perspective, your own story. And hip hop is about being authentic. And its authenticity in hip hop is what makes hip hop different from other genres, because most other genres, they credit the writers, they talk about the writers, they come up with them when they get the awards. There might be 5 different people help with the song, unless it's like Taylor Swift or somebody, but I believe she has writers sometimes too. But most of the time there are 5 writers, up to 5, 10, sometimes 10 writers on a song, and they all come up there with them. And nobody blinks an eye because singing is songwriting. So that's a little different from hip hop. Hip hop is supposed to be your autobiography. of what you went through, how you see things, your unique perspective. And that's why hip hop is so different from other genres. But I remember Snoop Dogg making a point about this maybe about 10 years ago, talking about how all the other genres have their writers and nobody bats an eye and nobody cares. And Snoop Dogg tried that route. It didn't go too well. The album wasn't perceived well, didn't really have any hit singles on it. It just looked different. So that's the point of hip hop people are missing. I know Jay-Z probably would never admit that he drew inspiration from somebody or anything like that. But if these things are true, it does hurt the credibility, similar to what it did for Drake, even though Drake had a lot of singing songs and people don't really care about the hooks so more than the verses. If you wrote your own verses and somebody wrote the hook, that's different because usually somebody else is singing the hook. The hook is, just the catchy part, just to get the pop culture involved. It's not, to be pure. It's not meant to be in pure hip hop fashion. It's only meant to be for the pop part of it because true hip hop really don't even need a hook. As Jay-Z had a couple of songs with that similar concept. So unless, you are a producer like a Dr. Dre, Kanye West, maybe a Pharrell Williams or somebody like that, people writing for you is seen in a negative light just because you're not writing from your perspective and you're supposed to be authentic. And if you're not authentic, if somebody else writing your own words, that's like if you were trying to talk and somebody else, you was using somebody else's voice. That is what it seemed like in hip hop. And that's why it's such a bad thing. Unless you're a producer, because producers spend a lot of time on production and it'll probably take them 10 years, similar to Dr. Dre and what he does. If they're writing their own raps and producing their own records, it's a lot to do. So producers do get that little pass of not being able to write all of their own lyrics. But something should come from them essentially. But when you claim you're the best, if you're not writing your own rhymes, that's why it hurt so much when people found out Drake had ghostwriters. Um, and it would hurt my heart if I found out Nas didn't write Illmatic and he had somebody write it and he just rapped it. It wouldn't change the way I feel about Illmatic, but it'll definitely change the way I feel about Nas because I hold him in such high regard, especially since that album was made when he was around 16 or 17 years old, which it was way ahead of his time back in 94 when it dropped. So it would definitely hurt or feel a lot different if he never wrote that, or if Biggie didn't write the Ready to Die album, or if Tupac didn't write the Me Against the World album. These type of albums make up hip hop, and you can't tell the story of hip hop without them. So if our most authentic pieces are not truly made from the artist and are just ghost written, it changes the whole thing of hip hop. Especially with Jay-Z, he has an influential album or essential album in hip hop, which is The Blueprint, and that Girls, Girls, Girls song and All I Need are on that Blueprint album. So if essentially the key pieces on that album weren't written, it's gonna change the way I look at hip hop. It's gonna look a little tainted. Well, not a little, it's gonna look a lot tainted. So I hope these things aren't true because a lot of these songs that we know are from growth and from pain and from hurt and from love and from fear and a lot of these different elements of just living every day. The pain is expressed in hip hop, but if those words don't come from you, then we just have a a biopic at this point. We don't need that. We need your true statements, your true everything. And there are already rumors about Jay-Z's street life not being real and it's made up, which, a lot of hip hop artists do that to some degree, but at least it has to be your words, not somebody else's story. Because that, you know, like I said before, we might as well go to the movies with that. That's not really true hip hop. So without the authenticity in hip hop, it's just WWE. It's Hollywood. It's not real. So, of course, nobody will verify Oskino's claims because a lot of people won't speak out about the machine. But yeah, it's just a bad look, I think, if it's true. Now, we'll probably never find out if it's true until later on, in history, probably. But a lot of things that's been going on behind the scenes have been looking very shady and started to be brung to light now because the things done in the dark always come into light, as they say. So most people won't give these claims any merit because it's Oskino and it's not somebody of like Kanye's stature or a Nas's stature or anybody or Lil Wayne or somebody that's high up on the hip hop food chain. But they definitely should be taken into consideration, considering the context of everything that's been going on in hip hop recently. So tell me your thoughts about Jay Z allegedly having a ghostwriter for especially the tracks All I Need and Girls, Girls, Girls. And until next time, I see you next time.